Sarah from
Dylan L. Matthew.
Divine and Masculino from
Crossing Office from BS and Science. This is Earth Science.
Theory of DIASTROPHISM. By the end of 19th century, it was widely believed that the reason for folding and faults was lateral compression produced by the Earth's gradual cooling.
Theastrophism is a kind of destruction for some of us, but we should all remember that this is our way of Earth to grow and flourish itself. It is also our nature's way of showing us to value small details that it will not be present permanently. Aside from that, theastrophisms resemble our life. Small progress is still a progress. Don't be afraid of changes. Sometimes it is the best way for us to keep moving.
Classification of diastrophic movements or slow movements. Diastrophic movements are further classified into heterogenic movement and orogenic movements. Orogenic processes or orogenesis movements, the two process of mountain building, occurs when two tectonic plates collide, either forcing material upward to form mountain belts such as the Alps or Himalayas, or causing one plate to be subducted below the other, resulting in volcanic mountain chains such as Andes.
What is eperogenic process? Movements that form continents are also known as eperogenic or continent-forming movements. They are also known as radial movements because they act along the radius of the Earth. They can move towards or subsidence or away from the center or what's so-called uplift. They create land upheavals or depressions with long wavelength undulations or wavy surfaces and little folding. To be exact, it is an action of uplift or subsidence of large area of continent or ocean basins.
Orogenic process or orogenesis is a mountain building process that deforms Earth's crust. This deformation is a diastrophic process that creates mountains and rift valleys. As we all know, diastrophism is a concept of deformation of Earth's crust, and orogenic process is actually a classification under it. That's why it's considered as a process of deformation of the Earth's crust, but to be specific, it creates certain landforms such as rift valleys and mountains. It occurs through an orogenic movement, which is a horizontal movement of the Earth's surface, particularly the tectonic plates. The said process, orogenic process, has its classifications under it, which are the tensional and compressional forces. Tensional forces are the diversion forces. It moves the tectonic plates away from each other or apart, which cause the rock layers to have fractures or fissures. It also creates faults due to the tension that the divergent forces, and faults, as we all know, is formed by the process of faulting, and this process creates certain landforms such as the rift valleys, and rift valleys, on the other hand, are created or formed in the process of lowering rock layers between two parallel faults. On the other hand, or moving on to the other classification, we have the compressional forces. Compressional forces are convergent forces. Unlike tensional, it moves the tensional forces in the opposite way, or it's an opposite of tensional forces. It is a movement, or it causes the tectonic plates to move towards each other and make them collide. Such movement can either be from one side or both sides. So this collision, since they move towards each other, it causes the Earth's crust to bend, form folds, or what they call crustal warping in the process of their collision. This process can also be referred or associated to the process of folding. Additionally, it develops folds mountains, rock formation, and crust lifting, whereas crust lifting is where rock layers rise up due to the force of the collision.
Astrophism has two categories, the orogenic and the perigenic. But now, we will be talking about a perigenic movement. First is the downward perigenic movement. Downward perigenic movement occurs when movement is in a downward direction. Subsidence is evidenced by submerged forest, valleys, as well as structures. Diastrophism is a process that move, elevate, or build up portions of the Earth's crust.
Upward eperogenic movement. It is uplift from the center when it is away. Raise beach, elevate wave, cutter raise, sea caves, and so on are examples of uplift.
Significance of diastrophism. Diastrophisms paves a way by which lead to the formation of continents and oceans bases. Mountain systems, plateaus, rift valleys, and other features by mechanisms such as lithospheric plate movements, and that is plate tectonics, volcanic loading or folding. Diastrophisms includes both plate tectonics and tectonic movements.
From those insights and information that have been said, we have arrived to the idea that diastrophism, also known as tectonism, is a large scale of deformation of the Earth's crust under the influence of natural processes or geological processes. This process or phenomenon eventually leads to the formation of continents, ocean floors or basins, mountain systems, and other landscapes in relation to the lithospheric movement on the Earth's surface. All of the processes or topics mentioned in this video also have pointed out how the deformation of the Earth's crust have made differences for how the planet's structure operate as a landmass in this planet.